So, I mean, this is the big news, and here I am flagellating myself reading these comments as well, because comments are always good. But, I mean, I would love to see HenryG back commentating. This is the bit, is that today's the day that Cloud9 and myself will be parting ways. Thanks to Jack Etienne for the opportunity and the players for their hard work and time. It's truly a shame how things panned out with a lot of mitigating circumstances, but plenty of positive memories too. I mean, this is going to be it. This is going to be the main issue here for Henry, is that he's been hung out to dry, unfortunately. Not given enough time. I mean, that's the frustrating thing, I think, right? Like, my takeaway from this is that if you make such a big deal out of the money that you're investing, but I mean, think about it, right? Put it in perspective. It's Cloud9. They've got millions and millions and millions of dollars. They have so much money. They don't know what to do with it, clearly. So the money side of things, for us plebs, that's a lot of money. For Cloud9 as an organization, it's not a lot of money. So at the end of the day, right, the money thing kind of becomes moot. I think what's frustrating is more the promises that seem to be made to the players and to Henry, and that don't get followed through on, as in there was a lot of emphasis put on multi-year deals, right? Multi-year contracts. This is security in the long run to build up, right? And I mean, the team barely lasted 6 months. And when it became clear that due to the pandemic situation, right, fair enough, but also due to just the team makeup with Woxic not being a part of it anymore and you having to go to get Zeppa to bring him on board, the shift is clear, and we talked about this in the past on the channel. The shift is clear that this now has gone from a short-term, instant return kind of situation to a long-term plan. And so it seems like Cloud9, they just weren't willing to take that risk. They weren't willing to play out the long-term plan, because you had a lot of potential. You kept seeing it, right? Zeppa, Messi, Floppy, these guys would pop off. It's just that they lack experience, right? And so the whole thing shifts from, you just need to have a bit more time with these guys. They can get a few more knocks, right? They can struggle a bit more and get that experience, and then they'll start shaping themselves into a team that can actually start challenging, because they've got the firepower. That much is clear. Asatag is there. He's got the veteran kind of approach to the situation, alongside Alex, who just needs a bit more confidence as an in-game leader, because he doesn't have a Zywoo anymore. So he needs to, develop his own style and start getting through his own mental demons, I guess, of, self-doubt, because everybody, no matter what, always mentions the fact that he had Zywoo, and it wasn't actually his in-game leadership that got them wins. It was just the fact that you had Zywoo, so you're playing the game on easy mode. That's something that a hurdle of his own that he has to get over. And so there were all sorts of interesting things going on with this team, but a lot of it just shifted into the long term, right? You needed to give them another 6 months. You needed to give them at least a year, right, to develop as a roster and to start building up that system, and for it to start kind of coming together. Let's not forget that you still had a couple of these guys. I think Floppy and Zeppa, they were living on their own in Serbia. I think Floppy was on his own in Serbia for legit like a month or something before Zeppa even showed up, right? So I mean, not the best living situation for some of the players. It just feels like the whole thing is a catastrophe. But and it just kind of sucks to see Henry take it all on the head like this, right? Because it sounds to me, like he really went in guns blazing, thinking this is it. We're gonna be able to pull all this off. Like, I've got the backing of one of the biggest orgs in the scene. We're gonna be able to make it all happen. We'll take it over. And instead of that, it was a series of failures, essentially, although some of them were pretty damn close, failures, and Cloud9 saying, okay, that's it. You don't have any more time left. You actually have to get results now or bail. And it looks like Henry is going to be out of it. So after putting himself out there, and now he's going to have to carry this in the community forevermore, as the comments will never let him forget of the Cloud9 fiasco. Henry's had a few hard breaks recently. He's had a few tough times, but it's almost similar to Thorin in Flashpoint, right? Thorin really putting himself out there, really going, back to the wall, saying that this Flashpoint's going to be the thing. He really tied himself to it, saying that this is going to be my vision. That we're gonna take it all over. We're gonna do it all right. It's going to be done correctly. And Thorin's not a part of Flashpoint anymore, and Henry isn't a part of Cloud9 anymore. So it really sucks to see. And at the end of the day, I mean, I guess we just kind of have to hope that it all works out for Henry. I mean, as far as Henry is concerned, I think that despite the fact that there are many saying that he hated commentary, I mean, he could always turn back to commentary pretty much tomorrow, and just go back to ESL. I'm pretty sure, and ESL will just jump at the opportunity to have him back on the broadcast. So I'm pretty sure that as far as commentary is concerned, Henry is fine. Probably the real question is whether or not he wants to kind of shift into a GM aspect of things, or does he want to go and does he want to become a GM for another team, or does he want to kind of just shift into management of a team? Is that the answer for him now? These are all kinds of questions, because I mean, I feel like Henry he's got all the doors open to him now. Now he's had an experience, he's had a taste of the GM life. He understands what it is and understands what's at stake and how to handle it, right? So that's great for him. He's got that experience now. So he could, go for that kind of play again, or he could become a coach, right? He could become all sorts of things. And at the same time, he could become a commentator again and just go back to analysis. I mean, the Alex Sponge Henry combo was actually working out pretty well for ESL, so I'm pretty sure that they would obviously jump at the opportunity to do that again. It's just a question of whether or not he wants to go back to Cologne and live there, considering he's in Malta right now. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of blows. The whole thing kind of blows, right? There was high expectations, and even when there's the thing is that's really frustrating to see. It's just that there's high expectations were set, and then things got hard and support was pulled, and that just really sucks to see. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see if Cloud9 ever come back. I doubt it personally. I think that they're done. I think that they had their chance. They took their chance, and they're like, okay, cool, we tried. And they're probably going to move on and just shift their full focus into Valorant now, because they're a North American league. They're backed by investors. Those investors want to see returns on investment. And so franchise leagues are obviously going to be way more profitable, at least for the certain teams, right? That's the idea behind it. And so now Cloud9 no longer in EPL, no longer. Well, I mean, I'm guessing they're still in Flashpoint, considering they were one of the founding teams. So at least maybe the management are still involved with Flashpoint. I don't know, but tough situation for Henry. I hope he. I mean, come on. I hope he lands on his feet. He will land on his feet. He'll do just fine. And I'm sure that we'll probably see him on the mic again, and while he figures out what it is that he wants to do going forward. So best of luck, Henry, and looking forward to it, dude.